Alright guys, we're back at it. It's the following week, the next Monday. And so this should be starting of part 3 of this $1 million smoker. The reason I call it that, the reason I'm calling it that is because, you know, I built this smoker for $12 originally when I originally built it to smoke a hog for a buddy of mine. And that's not including welding wire and my time. That's just the materials that I actually bought and paid for. And I've run a business now with this thing for 8 years, and I've made a living for myself for the past 8 years, 9 years, I guess, with this smoker and a couple other smokers. So this is a grand rebuild of that smoker. I had intentionally started rebuilding this thing just as a very matter of fact, just make it function better. And as I've been going through this, because it never functioned well. Like, it finishes awful. Not awful, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't finish well. When I say that, it means when I'm saying, like, it's so leaky, it leaks so much that it's hard to get the meat up to temperature in a timely fashion, in a steady way. And it functions, it works. I've used it for many years. But it was never efficient. It was never built to be efficient. It was never built to be doing what it's doing. It's smoking, 40, 45 briskets a day and just running nonstop every day, all day. It was never built for that. That wasn't its purpose. But I made it happen with it somehow. And so my purpose of doing this was to basically just make it function better, tighten it up, make it not leak, put a good sized firebox on it so it was easy to clean out, that was easy to work with, put a bigger flue on it, make it function better. And make racks that were easy for me to handle and get in and out, and make it easier to clean. That was my intention with it, because I've struggled to keep this thing, because I had these big, like 3 or 4 inch flat bar on the bottom that the grates set on, the cooking grate set on. Well, the juices and everything, spices and everything collect on that. No, to clean all that off of there, it was just a hassle to clean. When the other smokers I have grates in them, and they're in a frame, and I can just take those frames out, clean them off really well, put them back in, and it takes me, 15 minutes per grate and 10 minutes per grate, and I'm done. And they clean the grill out. It's ready to go back into production. This one here was a hassle. Like, this one took me 3 or 4 hours to clean this smoker correctly, to my standard anyways. And I just wanted to make it function better. But it's turned into something else. It's turned into an art project, I guess. See how much junk I can use that I already have, and see how much junk I can throw at this thing and not spend any money on it. Once again, not spend any money on it, and make it, and still end up with the same more functional smoker than what I started with. So that's where I'm at with it. So I used my original, as I've stated in the other video, I used my original first ever smoker that I ever built, which took me probably 3 extra hours that I didn't have to do. But I used it as the stack. I used an old air tank here that I had laying around as part of the stack as well. and I've used some of the old pieces that I cut off that very first smoker that we cut up in part 1 as parts for the collector. And it's taken me twice as long to do this now than that's what I thought. And there's something else, as me being somebody I used to could tell you how long it would take me to build something, to now, like I haven't been doing it in so long, I forget how long this stuff takes. And I say, well, I have this done in 2 weekends, or a couple, 4 or 5 days. I'll have this done. Now it's turned into, this is going on, I think this is 10 or 12 days I've worked on this thing. And it's just taking me longer than I expected it to. That's my fault for not being efficient with my time, and not really having a clear idea of what I was going to do to this thing. I had ideas of what I wanted to do, but I didn't have a clear set thing that I was going to do to this thing. So if you're building a project, and I will get to doing these things as I get back into doing all this stuff, have the stuff ready. Like if you have a plan, you're not just building out of your head like I sometimes do. If you have a plan, have the stuff ready. Like have it laid out, have it drawn out, have it ready to go, so you're not waiting around on things. Like right now, I need to make the firebox door, but I'm having a friend of mine. He's going to cut the door for me on a CNC machine, so it has a nice CNC thing. So that's one thing that I'll be paying for, and some nice hinges on the door, because that's the one thing about any smoker I've ever used, especially the homemade ones. The hinges have never functioned properly. Like I got one down there right now. Now one of the smokers I run down there is not a homemade. It was made by a company, and I won't say their name because I've had to modify it a bunch to make it function. But the door is horrendous. Like I've had to rebuild. So there's two other smokers down there, and I've had to rebuild the door on the bigger one of them already. And so this other door, you can barely open and close it. Like you have to literally put your foot against it and push on it to shut it. Like it's awful, and it just wasn't built correctly. But so I want to make some good hinges. So I'm waiting on some pillar blocks. I'm gonna have pillar block hinges for the door. Something that it's not going to wear out because this thing's probably not ever going to get touched except for being clean for another 10 years. And we'll see where we're at that point. That'll put me at 58 years old. I don't even want to think about that. But so let's play some musical cars here. Let's get these vehicles out of the way here and get them parked up for the weekend. Out of the way. We've had some bad weather here and flooding and stuff, and try to keep everything out of the weather. But let's get on this smoker. So today's cigar. It's an Oliva V. It's handmade in Nicaragua. It's a Maduro Especial. So that's what we're smoking today. It's a Monday, about 3:30 in the day. I take a little time off to myself. You got to rest a little bit. So I try to sleep in on Monday, sleep in a little bit late, eat a late breakfast, and go run a couple errands with the wife. And then I try to get out here. So I'll be out here all the rest of the day today, late into the evening. I'll be here all day tomorrow. And then I have a business meeting. In the Georgetown area. Georgetown, Kentucky area on Wednesday, so I'm not sure how much time I'll be in here on Wednesday. We'll see how that goes, but hopefully maybe Wednesday evening I can get here and finish up a few things. I'm going to try my best to get this thing done today, except for the firebox door, because I'm waiting on parts for it. So thank you for sticking around. I hope you watched part 1 and part 2 of this. Like I say, it's jokingly, I'm calling it the $1 million smoker. I hate to even say that I've made $1 million with it, because does a man have $1 million in his pocket? Fuck no. No, fuck no, they don't. but has a man over 8 or 9 years, you know, turned over millions of dollars, going in and out of a restaurant? Absolutely we have. So I'm calling this the $1 Million Smoker because this is what we built this place on, what we built the business on. And I hope y'all hang around and watch this thing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how it functions. And what I might do is at the end of this, I may film a cook for the Thatcher Barbecue Company YouTube channel and splice in a few clips of rebuilding this thing on the here at the shop. And we'll see how it cooks. We'll do that over on the Thatcher Barbecue Company channel. And if you're not following that, go check it out. I'm planning to do a bunch of content on there. I finally, hopefully, let's say hope, with my fingers crossed here. Hold on. Here. Hope. I'm hoping that I found me an editor. He's a good friend. I've known him a long time, and why I'd never thought about asking him before, it just never dawned on me. I was sitting out by the smoker there one day, just smoking a cigar at the restaurant, tending the fire, and it just hit me. I was like, I bet he can do that. So I got up with him and asked him, and he said, well, absolutely. He said, absolutely, you know. So we're gonna start working together so I can maybe start getting these videos done a little bit better. And if he comes on board, he'll be editing this video, and if he does, maybe he can put a little, hi, I'm so-and-so, right here, if he wants to, introduce himself. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we come up with together. I think it's going to be a good partnership. And he's a local guy, and I've known him a long time. He's a good customer and good friend, and we'll go from there. But let's get this stuff moved around. Let's get started. And well, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will get it figured out from here. Oh yeah, let's cold start this old Yale. So y'all remember, I ain't had these things on. It's the second or third cold start I videoed on it. I said last time I was out here was Wednesday evening, and that's now Monday. And you see, I'm not sitting up here or nothing. Let's see. This thing, legit the best money I ever spent. Legit, 100%. I can say without a doubt, best money I've ever spent in my life. So, yeah. So we're using some, I'm gonna make a little brace to go. So I got this piece of sheet metal set up here. Not sheet metal, but 11 gauge, which is about the same as what the tank is. The tank's maybe, I don't know, it might be, I don't know what the gauge is, I ain't checked it. I'm gonna put a brace in here. It needs to be 20 inches. But this is a piece, if you remember a few videos back, that old lift that I'd built years and years ago and used it for this, had this table here on it. This is the piece I cut off of it, so I gotta get rid of this piece because I need to cut me a piece that's 20 inches. That's what that needs to be. Now this would be a lot easier if I could get to my shit, because I have a chop saw right there, but I'd have to move 47 things to get to it. But what I'm going to do is just I'm just going to grind this off, take cut-off wheel, cut the end of this off, measure my 20 inches and cut this off, and we'll get her put up there. Like I say, this is just junk. This is, you know, it ain't in the scrap pile, but it's not really junk. I shouldn't call it that. It's just stuff that I've saved off of something else. You know, I guess something I've used for something at some point. It's been welded onto something else. Just let me know in the comments if you guys do that kind of stuff. If you guys save all this shit. Because I mean, I've been to a lot of welding shops. Some of them are pristine. I watch a lot of guys on YouTube and stuff, and their shops are all, you know, a few of them are not pristine, but most of them are like pristine, pretty, beautiful shops, and I don't ever see like muck of things, you know, like I've got here. And maybe I'm doing it wrong. And so, but make a comment down in there and tell me if you save all this bullshit like I do, and maybe it won't feel so bad about saving some of this stuff. So yeah, and I fucked the screen of my phone up, grinding and cutting next to it. So I'm gonna try to leave it sitting over here. I'm gonna go over there and grind a little bit, not to save my phone a little bit here. So I got that ground up. I'm gonna measure out so I cut a straight edge on this end. I'll clean all that up. I'll measure down 20 inches and we'll mark and cut it. See this water hole? So I've had some flood damage from the last storm we had over on the other side of this building, and apparently my drain here is plugged up. So, because it ran over this way, because we had some like 4 days of severe rains and flooding. Louisville, Kentucky, which is about 3 hours from me though, is flooded bad. Really the whole western part of the state of Kentucky got really bad flooding, and I got lucky that we got lucky here that we didn't get it again. Not that we didn't get any, but my back parking lot at the restaurant was got flooded pretty bad, but no damage, luckily, thankfully. But we've had floods here at my home where the whole community was, like there were just places that there was houses that had been there for 30, 40 years. The whole communities are wiped out. And it wasn't nothing like that. But bad enough, so we don't want any flooding. But anyways, I got to get this fixed. I got to, hopefully some people coming to help me do this. And if they don't come in the next little bit, I'm just going to figure out some way to I'm not a carpenter. I do the best I can with what I got to work with, and I'm just going to do it myself and get it done. But we'll worry about that, cross that bridge when it gets there. They're saying the 15th. So it's next week sometime, and we'll figure that out then. But let me go cut this, and we'll get this top piece cut, and then get this put in, and we'll go to welding. All right, guys. So I officially don't have enough metal. Ain't that I don't have enough metal. I don't have enough like full pieces. So like I knew this was going to happen. I knew I'd cut this piece off to make the top part of this collector. I knew it was going to make that short. So I got that patched in. I got this piece all tacked in place. And so what I'm doing right now is trying to get the metal to make this piece right here. So I had it cut out in the old CAD. Had it cut out in CAD, cardboard aided drafting. And I've dug through a bunch of stuff, which I thought I had and the reason I didn't already have this together, because I thought I had a piece of 1/8 inch. I thought I had a whole sheet, a 4x8 sheet, but it was not a 4x8 sheet, because I just kind of glanced back here. Because this stuff has been in here so long. Like I say, and I know I keep harping on that, but I'm just saying, like, it ain't an excuse. It's just I don't know what I've got here. So I thought I just come out here and I glanced at this piece right here, and it's a full sheet, but it's two sheets of like 16 gauge, and that ain't gonna work for me. So I've got a partial. I've got like a partial sheet right here, but it still may or may not be enough. But I'm gonna keep messing around. I may have to patch some pieces together. And something I used to do all the time, because my ex-brother-in-law used to work at a place, and they'd have these drops. It's all this diamond plate, like pieces of diamond plate drops. And I used to have a fucking shit ton of them, but I've got 5 or 6 of them here. I may use some diamond plate on this, because I always had so much of it. I'd put a little piece of diamond plate something on everything that I did, whether it was a truck or whatever it was. If it was a big project where I was putting a bunch of stuff on it, if I was patching a frame or I was doing whatever it was I was doing, I'd put a piece of diamond plate on it, because I had it and just to do it. So that's getting ready to happen to this thing. I may have to patch in some pieces here and there. I can say there again, that throws my whole thing out that I was going to do for the door. But here's something else. So, when we first started talking about this, I was going to swing those doors. I was going to swing them out. You know what I mean? Swing them out like a barn door style. It's kind of what I was shooting for. But the more I've got here messed this door's so tall now. So what I'm thinking about doing is coming here and putting a piece of like 4 or 5 inch strip down this way, and maybe a 5 or 6 inch or 5 or 6 inch strip down this way to narrow that door up, and then put maybe a 4 inch strip down the middle down this way, so there's a middle piece here. And then somebody's getting after it down here. I've heard it's been off the rev limiter for like 2 or 3 minutes now. Let's see what they're doing. Y'all hear that? I don't know what they're doing, but they're getting after it. It's across the river, apparently, looks like. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm at right at the moment. I've got to figure out how to do this door and go from there. So let me see if I can't. Oh, here's what I was getting at when I brought the doors up. So a few years ago, I bought an old school bus and I tore it apart, and I saved these old piano hinges. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I got 2 full sets of them. And I was thinking, I don't know. Let me see if I can get this one handed. Maybe doing something, putting this up here and putting this come down onto a piece. And maybe if these two smaller, if I make the doors smaller, they shouldn't be that heavy and they would lift up. But there was a whole point of me not making them lift up, because my damn fucking shoulders, man. The older I get, the worse my shoulders get, and lifting them thing all the way up. I don't know. I'm going to work with this. I'll maybe try to work with this, or what I could do is cut it and use it as the side hinges. I don't know. Maybe if we swing it open this way, So I don't know. I'm going to let it sit there and marinate on that one for a minute. There again, using junk to make junk, then use more junk. So, all right, let me set this camera down, and I'll get this metal figured out, and I'll start cutting some pieces, and we'll place it in there best we can. And if we have to patch it, we got to patch it. And if it's just par for the course with this thing, this is a patchwork quilt type smoker, and make it work however we got to do, whatever we got to do to make it work. All right, guys. So I've skipped ahead here a little bit. I went ahead and got these places made. You see, I had to patch in a place here. Here on this end. So I just didn't have enough. Didn't have enough metal. I'm gonna patch this little job in here. So I'm gonna get up here now and weld this thing all the way in. Finish these welds down this way, and so I really have to make 2 passes across the back, which hindsight I should have done it different, but it is what it is. See, this thing's got all these like dents and divots in it from over the years, so I just want to put a straight piece up there to get started with. That's why I put this piece in first. So hindsight, I guess I should have just made it to where this piece comes straight down, but it's already done. But I have to make a solid weld down all the way down, and I have to come back and make another solid weld all the way down that way. So plus all the way across the top. So it's a bunch. So let me get this set up here, and and also, yeah, while we was off camera there, I went ahead and finished welding up around the tank all the way around both sides of this thing, and got that done too. So let's get started, and I hope I got enough wire. I just put a new 5-pound box on there, or 5-pound roll on there. That last day I worked in here, so today's Monday, so it was last Wednesday I put a brand new 5-pound roll on there. That may not be enough to do this, but if not, we'll worry about that tomorrow. So as soon as it runs out, or I run out, or whatever runs out first, my energy or that welding wire, it's about 12:30 at night. I was shooting to quit at 12, but I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out here, do at least get as far as I can on it tonight, and we'll come back in tomorrow. It's just a shit ton of welding. And I guess tomorrow, since I've got all the welding done on this, the biggest thing's gonna be deciding what I'm gonna do with the doors, and I'm gonna be thinking about that while I'm buzzing this thing up, and see if we can't get that figured out. Let's go for a little scoop, boys. Yeah. Get them out and get them warmed up every now and then. All right, guys, we're back at it. So I finished up all the welding on. Well, I don't have the collector finished welded yet, but I got this top rack deal done. Took got the old 50 out for a minute. Drove it down the road and back. Pretty good old car. It's detonating a little bit, like when it gets warm. I think the way the fuel lines are run on it, I think that just gets the fuel's getting hot, and so I gotta work to fix that at some point. But I won't drive it too far. I don't really trust it, but yeah, so you got to get them out every now and then and get them warmed up. I'm gonna finish the same one from yesterday and get it lit back up. So Leva V Maduro Especial. Pretty damn good stick. Like I say, I got all this welding on this thing done. So there's two things to do today: get the doors made, or work on this door, which I'm wanting to have something actually cut for that on a CNC machine. A buddy of mine, Fabwell, Jason Hallett, up in Indiana, supposed to cut me some pieces for that. Just depends on if I get these doors here done today or not, whether I'll take the time to, because I need to get this thing done. We'll cross that bridge later today and see where we're at, because I have a meeting tomorrow. My only concern is I'm almost out of welding wire, and I'm almost out of welding gas, and I think that this other tank over here is argon. I don't think it's a mixed tank. I think that's straight argon. Yeah, it is. So I only got one mixed tank, but I've got one to take in. That's a good thing about being in here during the weekday, because I work at the restaurant on the weekend, so I can't ever get anything done on the weekends because I'm tied up with that, tied up down there. But I work in here Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays when I, don't have something else going on. But that gives me the leeway if I need to run out to the welding shop, which the nearest welding shop where I get my gas and welding supplies at is in Mount Sterling, which is about 40 minutes from me. I don't think there's any place else that, there's a couple parts houses that sells welding wire and can do a tank exchange for you, but actual welding shop where they have real supplies is Mount Sterling or Hazard, which either way, it's gonna be a 45-minute drive either way. And I have to go to Lexington and Georgetown tomorrow for a business meeting for the restaurant. So I'm gonna try to empty this tank out tonight. And I've been buying those 5-pound rolls of wire, but this welder here will take a 30-pound roll. And if they have a 30-pound roll, I'm just gonna get a 30-pound roll. But I went to Tractor Supply yesterday to try to see if I could get enough to get me through the next couple days. It's $109 for a 5-pound roll of wire. And holy shit. Like, wow. But since I gotta go to the welding shop anyways, And I have an account down there where I get things a little bit cheaper, because I've had an account for so long. But even though I haven't used it, but I've had an account there for a long time, I get a better, I'll say a better deal, but a little bit better deal on things. But hopefully it won't be for a 30-pound roll. I can't assume what that's going to cost. I haven't bought one in 8 or 10 years since I bought a 30-pound roll. But yeah, let's get after this. I still, like I say, I guess I'm just sitting here talking to you guys or talking to myself, I guess, technically, because I'm the only one in here. I still really don't know what I'm going to do with these doors just yet. This is a little different than what I expected this thing to turn out to be. It's kind of morphed into something that something different than what I had originally envisioned. Let me ponder on this a little bit. The reason, like I say, the reason I even contemplate working on this is because I got this figured out. Like, I know how I want this to be. I still don't know how I want to do those doors yet. So, and they're huge. From just looking at it, like they're going to be huge doors. But there again, I think I mentioned it a little bit yesterday. I'm going to put maybe a 5 or 6 inch piece here. I'm going to put maybe a 4-inch piece down the center, and I'll put another 5 or 6 inch piece down this way on that end. And then the door will only be, well, hey, let's check it. I'm gonna find a tape measure. Let's see. If I go 6 inches here. Let's lay this down a minute. Give me a piece of soapstone. I tell you what, I look for this soapstone more than I do anything in this garage, probably. I think I stuck it in my hoodie pocket when I went in last time. But I have Sharpie. Close enough. Let's see. I don't know how people do this shit one-handed, but we're gonna try it. So I'll go 6 inches or 5, 1 or 2. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it just yet. And I got to get better practice at one-handing this shit. So 6 inches there. I think I will go 6 inches because, that's nothing right there that I can't reach in there and try. Well, I'm having a hell of a time this morning. Might be one of them days. So say there's 47. That's the center of this thing. I'm just going to eyeball it here. Let's say I put a piece in. 5-inch piece there. And that makes this thing. Let's see where we're at here. That'll make this door 37 inches, give or take. So 37, 38 inches, depending on whether or not. And that's a big door. It's 3 feet. Like I say, let's see how long this thing here is. I'm just thinking out loud. This is what you got to do when you're trying to figure this shit out. That door there's 3 feet. Let me get it figured out, and I'll jump back on here. But I think this is what I need to work on. I need to get this front door done. This is probably the most important thing. I think I could probably knock that back one out pretty quickly, whether I get Jason to help me or not. The only thing with getting Jason to help me do it, cut those pieces for me, is I'll have to wait for him to make them, ship them here, and I need to get this thing done ASAP. And I got a shit ton of cleaning up, and I was thinking about maybe sanding this whole thing down, making it look a little better. But there again, it's never been show smoker. You know what I mean? It's always been a piece of junk rust bucket, money making motherfucker. That's what it's always been. So that's what we're doing with it. So we'll figure it out. I'll get back on here in a minute. All right, guys. So for some reason, the plasma cutter does not like cutting this. I mean, it's struggling cutting this. There was a welded edge on this where this used to be if you remember from back in the other video, I think it's part 1 where we cut this smoker here apart. There was a welded edge here where this used to be a box here. So I was just trying to cut this welded edge off of this thing, straighten this thing up so I could start laying it out. And for some reason, the plasma cutter just don't like it. Went through 2 sets of tips trying to do it, and I'm gonna quit with it. I don't want to tear it up. I don't know what the deal is with it. That thing is cut great, phenomenal. Ever since I've had that thing, so we'll figure that out in a minute. I tried it on something else and it cuts fine. Just don't want to cut this for some reason. But anyways, so I was gonna use this piece of metal. Here's the door, or something this size. I was gonna have a buddy of mine cut it and CNC it, put some cool shit on it. But this door right here was the original firebox door off the other smoker. So the reason I wanted to cut this out like this so it's level with the tank, I've still got to clean it all up and grind. I want to make it slick and smooth, but I want to be able to pull the ashes out of this thing. And the way it was done before, it just had this little opening in it, so I cut that out. But I wasn't planning on using this. This is not what I was planning on using, but it's already got a hinge on it. It's already got a handle on it, and it's there again. The whole point of this, well, not the whole point of the project, but the whole plan here was to not, to use up as much stuff as I've already got. Now, this is a big old thick piece of metal here. I mean, it's heavy, and like I say, it's already got a handle on it. So what I was thinking about doing, and I also think it's silly, but what I was thinking about doing is using this, just put it in this area right here, just as a clean out for the ashes. But then I don't have any vent ports or intake ports for it. So, and it's really too small for what I need. But man, it's a thick piece of metal and it's already built. It'd be nice to just be able to lay it in here and cut it out to that size and use that as a firebox. But it is firebox door, but it's just too small. So let me figure out this too. I think I've got my doors up there figured out in my brain anyways. But I need to get this figured out so I can either have my buddy Jason cut me a piece to go in here, or I use what I've already got and just try to get this thing together. So let me get it figured out. I'll be back with you in a minute. Clean the tip. I do that every now and then. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. It is about, I don't know, 11:30, 12 o'clock. We can get as much done today as I wanted to. It ain't for lack of trying. I was gonna try to make a door for this thing, but decided to just let my buddy Jason make it for me. Got a CNC plasma table. I had a little piece of shit cobbed together on here, and by the time I kept looking at it, I'm like, it looks awful. I was just trying to cob some stuff together and some old doors off this thing, and it just wasn't working out. But I did get it cut and everything like that. I know it looks funky, but that is what it is. And then I added these pieces, which they're just tacked on here. I still got to trim them to fit. I needed to know what this opening was going to be. So it ended up being 40 inches wide, 29 inches tall. And then, so I'm gonna go tomorrow and buy pieces to make the doors for this thing. I know they're going to be huge, so I got to make some good hinges and stuff for them. But that's where I'm at on it. I say I'm not going to get in here tomorrow till late if I get any time in here tomorrow at all. I have a business meeting tomorrow in Georgetown and Lexington. I have something else I got to do in Lexington. And then I might get some time here tomorrow evening. Hopefully I do. If I do, I'll keep you updated on what I get done. But I got to go to the welding shop tomorrow. I got to go to the gas, get my gas tanks filled up. Got to do this business stuff, and then me and the wife will grab some food while we're down there. So that might take a little bit. But hopefully when I get back tomorrow evening. And I also, I got to go pick up. So doing all this, I got to take the trailer with me because we're picking up new picnic tables for the restaurant tomorrow. So we're picking up some big, huge picnic tables. So I got to hook the trailer up. I'll go ahead and go do that now, get it done, get it over with. So in the morning I can maybe sleep in a little extra half hour or so, or something like that. Give me a little extra sleep. So I'd rather do it tonight anyways while I'm up and at it. And then, but I'll keep y'all updated tomorrow when I get back. If I get back out here, maybe I can maybe take a video or something at the welding supply place and show you where I go to get stuff. So maybe if you're in the area and this is you're looking for a place to go to get this kind of stuff, this is be a good spot. And I'll take you to the metal store. Hopefully they have what I need. It's too late tonight to call them, but we'll get back with you tomorrow. Thank y'all for watching. All right, guys. So I don't know if I've even filmed any of the rest of that stuff I just did. So because I'm using that GoPro and it had full battery and I don't know, it went dead. I don't know if it even recorded anything, but I got these 3 braces on. This is going to be the center. This is going to be the centerpiece where the latches will latch the doors together. I'll have hinges on either end. We got the plate laid out right here. I'm getting ready to cut it out with the plasma cutter. And we'll get this side cut out, get it put up there, see how it's fitting, and then we'll cut the other side out and go from there. I hope it recorded some stuff. I don't know if it did or not. We'll worry about that. We'll worry about that at a later date. But I did say in that if it ain't on the GoPro, today's not one of my better welding days. So I just spent the last hour, 45 minutes to an hour with a grinder in my hand. That's how you learn not to be a grinder and be a welder, is by fixing your fuck ups. And it wasn't too bad. There's a couple spots that I didn't like how they looked, and there again, not making excuses. It's been a long time. to do them big long stretches and stuff. And I stop and start a lot. And I've got, when I first started welding, and if this is on the GoPro part, just cut it out for me, because, there again, I don't know what I'm doing. So, but when I first started welding, up until I was really like taught how to weld professionally, so I never went to school for it. I just learned from doing it and things like that. And I had a bad habit of holding my breath. I'd hold my breath when I would weld. Hood comes down, I hold my breath for some reason. But I got, over the years, I got good at, talking myself out of that and just remembering to breathe. Well, 8 or 10 years later, my muscle memory and my memory to do that is not there anymore. So I was holding my breath. I caught myself holding my breath and doing things as if to shake you and get off the line where you're trying to weld, and just didn't turn out like I wanted it to. But I spent 45 minutes with a grinder in my hand. I'll learn to be a welder again and not a grinder, and we'll go from there. So let me get this cut out. I'll try to set this phone up here somewhere. Like I say, I hope some stuff's on the GoPro, but if it ain't, we'll just do it with this for the rest of the night, and we'll go from there. So weld me a couple little pieces of scrap on here. Just a little tack, tack, tack. And we will set this door up here. Let's see if we can get this fixed. Perfect. Take two. See if I can weld today at all. Seems pretty good. Let's cut aside another one. Alright guys, so I'm gonna get, while I got the plasma cutter hooked up and working, ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this door out. I'll use that pieces that my buddy Jason made for me. That's gonna be my firebox door. Like I say, if he was working with new material, you wouldn't do it like this. But this is how we're doing it because I'm using a bunch of junk. And it's a little more work probably because of it, but I will build a smoker from new shit at some point, but it ain't this one. time. Like I say, this stuff would be way easier if I just used new shit, but this stuff is free. You know, well, I bought the door, which is pretty fucking cool. But all this other shit, the only thing I bought for this thing was this, those the bearings, and one piece of 3/16 plate, a sheet of that. So I'm probably in this thing now at this point on this build right here, $400, give or take, give or take. So, yeah, we're still working with it. Figure it out. Dun, dun, dun. So I was filming on the on that GoPro, trying to get used to it, and it went dead as it did last time I used it, and I don't know. But anyways, I was drilling these holes for these bearings here, drilling those holes, and I was kind of bragging a little bit about how these Easy Arc step drill bits work, but broke it in half. So I don't know. I don't say it's. I don't know. The tip broke off. Like literally, the tip of this thing broke off in the second I pilot drilled the hole. Well, hell, y'all know. Y'all just watched it. But I pilot drilled it. This broke off in the second hole, the very tip of it. So I drilled the hole out a little bit bigger and finished it with these. It did cut great, but on the second hole, third hole down there, so literally I drilled 8 holes, 7 technically, coming apart, and it is brand new. Let me see right if I can, right out of the package. I mean, it cuts good up, you know, but till it breaks, you know. So anyways, yeah, got 2 bearings on here now. I'm gonna go bolt the other 2 on. Now these aren't the bolts I'm gonna use for it. These are just something I had in the bolt bin over there. I need to be them need them to be about a ½ inch longer so you can get good thread on the inside of it. And for some reason this hound is wearing me out tonight. He has barked all day. He's barked all day. I don't know what's going on with him. But I'll give him water, I'll give him food, I'll give him attitude, I'll give him love, I'll give him pets, everything in the world. And I don't want him running around in here because all the little metal shavings and stuff in the floor. And he's still a puppy and he don't know not to get in this stuff. And once I get all this stuff, you know, and put it in a position where it's finally going to be, I can do all my metal cutting in one area and I can kind of train him to not be in that part. So anyways, but I am going to do a couple more things here. It's about almost 10 o'clock at night. Didn't get much done today, to be honest with you. Spent half a day doing errands and catering job tomorrow. Didn't get much done. Met with the contractor to work on the roof. I'm gonna get the bolts this time. I'm gonna go ahead and get the shafts in these things, which are 3/4 inch shafts. I should have bought bolts when I was at the store to get these. Got these at the local tractor farm implement place. 3/4 shaft. I think they're 4 feet long, so we should be able to get both hinges out of this, and then we'll have. I got another one of these pieces to make the hinge for the door, which it'll be a little longer than those hinges there are. So I'm gonna get these put together, get them bolted in place, get them where they need to be, and start figuring out how to make the hinges work. And I'm gonna go in here in a little bit and hang out with the wife and take a shower and eat a little bit of dinner. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll show you the progress on this stuff tomorrow because it takes me longer moving the camera around, talking to you guys. It takes me longer to get this stuff done. And I got to get this thing done. I mean, I have to get this thing done. It can't be in here any longer. And I've tried to not rush it. I've tried to not do stuff that I'm going to have to redo at some point because I half-assed it. Because I just don't have time. This thing's got to go back into cooking mode. It can't be sitting in this shop much no longer. I've got to get it out of here this weekend. So I'm going out of town next weekend and going to Washington, D.C. And I've got to get this thing out here this weekend. So that is the goal. Get out here this weekend and not rush anything and make anything wonky. So I got half a day again tomorrow. I've got half a day on Wednesday because I've got to be in Hazard at 5 o'clock on Wednesday for an appointment. And yeah, but I also want to thank Jason Hallett at Fab for making me these all this CNC cut stuff. He's out of Seymour, Indiana. He's on Instagram, Fab. I mentioned it the other day, and I think I got his Instagram thing wrong. But he met me halfway with the stuff to save me on shipping. And he's a good dude and excellent fabricator. And he's got a little small shop and CNC table, and he's doing all kinds of cool stuff and making smokers and air ride stuff and all kinds of things that I like. So thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. He comes out to the restaurant and does business with me at the restaurant. And even though we're far apart, he comes down and eats at my restaurant. And when it was time for me to need something cut for this, I do business with him. So that's how this stuff works, you know. So respect the people that respect you and do business with people that do business with you, even if it may not be the cheapest place. And Jason done me a real good deal. I ain't saying that his prices are high at all. I'm saying he done me a solid, great deal on the products that he got for me. But I'm just saying, in general, if you own a business and there's another business owner that comes to your place, does business with you, gives you money, go do business with him. And there's another person that I ripped their sweatshirt in here the other day who I've never done business with yet, but I plan to. It's Black Rabbit Tattoo in Perry County, Hazard, Kentucky. Go check their Instagram out, Black Rabbit Tattoo. That dude and his wife are at my restaurant, I'd say at least twice a month for the last probably. And it's not, we're an hour to an hour and a half away from them, and they drive down there at least twice a month and have dinner with me. I don't always get to stop and sit and talk to them, but I try to every time I can. But yeah, do business with those people. Do business with people that do business with you, and the people that are loyal to you, do business with them. So, all right, I'll see y'all in the morning. I'm gonna get these hinges dialed in. I'll show you where I'm at in the morning. They're pretty simple. I mean, if anybody's not ever done this stuff before, and if, like I say again, if you're looking to me for an education, how to do stuff, you're watching the wrong channel. But this bar just sits inside these bearings. It should sit in there like this, and I'll weld a stop on the top so it can't fall out. And then I'll weld the hinges onto it. I can't hold this camera and do this, but anyways, I'll show you in the morning how it works. But if you're watching me for education on how to do stuff, you probably not the right channel to watch. Not at this moment anyway. I'm pretty sorry at this stuff. So, but anyways, all right, I'm gonna put this camera down and get back after it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the morning. What's going on, guys? So back, it's the next day. I'm back out here in the shop. I got some stuff done earlier because I just got to get this thing done. If it takes me too long to set this camera up and do this kind of stuff. So, but my buddy Jason Hallett, Fab made these pieces for me to put on the smoker, and I got to make 2 more of these. I wasn't sure what I was going to do for a latch on the front, so we only had one. This is supposed to be the latch for the firebox door, but I think I can make this same design work for the way these doors are. So I just laid it out here on a piece of metal. Center puts the holes. I went through and pre-drilled them. And I'm going through and drilling them on out with the step bit. Y'all see me have a little problem with the smaller one last night. This one here is eating through them pretty good. But if you're doing this stuff, you can get hurt with this stuff, because this thing sometimes it'll hang up in a hole, and you know it hurts, and hurts your elbow, hurts your wrist. But you just got to hold on to it good and tight. And if you have a beard like me, get it out of the way. I've not caught it up yet, but I'd say it's just a matter of time before I do. Here we go. We'll cut these last 2 holes, and I'll take you over and show you what I've got done so far today, and go from there. Here we go. So that's the last hole for that. I'll lay the next one out and I'll drill them out. Then I'll cut them out with a plasma cutter. Real quick, I'll take over and show you what I've got done so far today. So I've got the doors on. Well, hold on. Can't even see that, can you? Well, got the doors on. And they're swinging. It's basically just an easy hinge. Now I am going to come in here, weld something all the way across, give us a little bit of strength. These are way too short, but he just cut me these. It wasn't for this particular thing. He just cut me these extra pieces out of the metal that he had. I figured I'd use them for something. It's the same over here on this one. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one of those, 2 of those handles on this thing, and it'll swing across and latch into it. So I'll show you when I get it done. But I've got to cut these pieces out, and then I got to start work. Get these doors done where they'll open and close on their own. Finish welding them. Here, beard cam again. Then I got to do the firebox door. And then I've got to start on the inside of the smoker, putting the racks in it. So that shouldn't take too long. I already got the metal cut. I've got it cut to the right length already. I just don't have it welded together, and I got to recut the grill screen part, the stainless grill screen. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get this thing done between the rest of the evening today and half a day tomorrow. Try to get this thing done, pull it out of here, because I got some guys coming to work on the roof. I've got to get this thing out of here. I've got to have room to store some shit in here for a few weeks while we get the new roof on the building over there. So yeah, if you're still watching, just keep watching, hang out. We'll get this thing done. I'll tell you what I am going to do, and you may not like me for it. It is what it is. I'm going to do the first cook on this thing, the first fire up and the first cook on the Thatcher Barbecue Company channel on YouTube. That's not going to be a cooking channel, what we're doing here. I'm going to do all my cooking stuff down there, but I want to season it, fire it up, season it, burn everything out of it, get it, seeing how it's going to function, how it's going to work, how it's going to control, and how to get everything done on it, on that channel. So if you're following this channel, you probably know who I am and what I do for a living. Go to Thatcher Barbecue Company, THATCHER, Thatcher Barbecue Company on YouTube. And I think we've got like 275 followers on there or something like that. So it's a small channel as well. I don't do a bunch of stuff on there. But we're going to try to change that, and we'll keep doing what we're doing on here and just keep it going. And you know, people ask me why I do it. You know, ask me why make these videos and stuff. And I could get a lot more done if I didn't do them. I'll just be honest with you. But I enjoy showing people stuff. I enjoy talking to people. And here's the thing: if people don't show people how to do stuff, either in person or on videos, how's people that don't know somebody that does that? How are they ever going to learn? So I'm not trying to tell anybody that I'm a teacher or that I can teach you how to do this kind of stuff. Hell, I can barely do it myself. But I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy talking to this camera here, and hopefully some people are watching. I think we're up to 111 or 112 people on this channel, and I want to thank every one of you for hanging out and watching. It means a lot to me. Most of you, I don't get a lot of comment stuff on there. I get a few, but there's some guys that message me offline that know me personally that message me, just texting me text messages and stuff, and they like what I'm doing, so that's very appreciative. And but I love all of you. Just keep watching. I'm gonna get this thing done. Hopefully not make this video too long, and go from there. All right. So got this. So I've still got to put a hinge point in here, like I put a bolt in there, something that this thing here can swing on. But then I'll put either bend this out, or I'll put a knob in there, some kind of something to hold on to, which lift that over. So that's how we're going to latch this thing. You can see it's good and tight. Oh, good and tight. It's good and tight on the ends. So I got to drill a hole here to figure out what I'm going to do for a knob right there. And I used to have some old glass door knobs around here. I'm gonna fit. Let me look around here and see what I got that I can use for a knob, or maybe an old shifter handle or something, or hell, that might be a good place to put old Mack on there. The old Bulldog I used to be on the tank. I'm gonna put it back on here somewhere, but that might be a good spot for it right there. Might be. All right, I'm gonna get back after this, but you can make this stuff too. It's not that hard. I promise you. This camera is harder. Using this camera and pointing is harder than making that. I guarantee it. So, at least it is for me. So, all right, let me get back after it, find us a knob for that thing, drill a couple holes. Might put a little stop for it, like when we flip it back. When we flip it back this way where it opens, that way it don't swing her all the way around. And I might put a little catch on it right here somewhere where it'll hold it. Maybe put just a little piece of angle iron right there or something, just a little something to hold it. That'll work. We'll figure that out. All right. All right, guys. So we got our hinges on, and we got our latch on. So it's very simple. It's a flat piece. Got welded a little. I got to finish weld everything. That stuff's just tacked on there. But door is open. And this one hand. Door's closed. And it's tight. Tight back there. Tight here. It shouldn't. I'm gonna say it ain't gonna leak at all, because yeah, you can't hardly keep smoke in. But it's pretty damn. Let's see. It's pretty damn tight. So hopefully that's how it's gonna be. So I think that's pretty cool. Got a little shifter handle. I don't know what that's off of. I really have no clue what that's from, but it's pretty neat. Yeah, cool. Let's get on this front door. What I'll do is I'll get this front door on, and then I'll just start welding everything. It'll just be nothing but welding. And tomorrow morning, if I don't get to it tonight, which I might, it just depends on how this door goes. If I don't get to it tonight, all I have left to do tomorrow is the inside racks. And you know, when we first started this thing, what are we going to do about these doors? So I might have to weld those up too. I know I'm going to weld them up, but I got to get to that at some point too. So that might just be part of the welding thrash I'm going to have to do on this thing. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. My wife walked out here earlier and she said, "Now damn, that's a smoker," she said. So made me pretty proud. But anyways, I was really dreading making that latch, and I ended up doing it different than I was intending to do it. What I was going to do was have the shorter end of this be in this area, and let it come over onto it, and have another one for this door. But hey, this works. I guess if you're going to open a smoker up, for whatever reason, you got to open it up. You might as well open it, because both these doors are going to open when you open it up, so it doesn't really matter. So it's all right. That's perfectly fine with me. So all right, let's get back after it. All right, guys. So I just had to bust some shit out and get some shit done, so I didn't video any of it. But got the front door on, firebox door on. Now I still have to patch in these little spots here where this old part of this old smoker. I still have to patch those in, weld this all the way around. I have it like welded closed at the moment, but there's my front door, firebox door. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is an old push rod, roller push rod. It still rolls. Got some kind of old diesel truck or something like that, and this is some kind of old rocker. So this is my breather for the smoker. Does the handle for it. Like I say, I've not swung it open yet. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I've got some welding done on there, but I've still got a lot of welding to do on it. But I just had to get this done. I've got to get this smoker out of here. I have to get it back to the restaurant. Have to. It's getting busy, and those two little smokers that I'm smoking on I just can't keep up. So I've got to get this thing down there. So I'm it's about 2:30 in the morning right now on Tuesday, or technically Wednesday morning. But I've got quite a bit done today. I mean, I obviously, you know, always get more done than you can, but I got the front doors on today. Got the latch made today. Got the hinges all on. Got this all done today. So, I mean, I have to go in and put backing in behind this like a piece of strap, put strapping in around all the way around the door to take up that gap. Not that that's how it's supposed to be, but there's got to be a place for the door to seal against. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Make those little places there. I don't know if I can get it done tomorrow or not. Man, I got to be in Hazard at 5 o'clock, so I don't know. But I put some. I think you probably maybe be able to see it, but where it says Old Mack, it's got some diamond plate in there. So yeah, I mean, is it perfect? No. Is it pretty? It ain't trying to be. This is a Mad Max junkyard special. That's what this thing is. So I just dug around some old buckets of parts that got left here when this was a diesel truck garage, and had that old rocker and that old push rod, and so hell, let's use that as the handles. We'll see how it goes, how it works for when I get a fire in this thing, see how hot they get. If they get super hot, I'll change them to something that's either longer or something that that I can get away from the firebox. But for the most part, I think it's going to be fine. The only other thing is, I think maybe just like on the front door, the way this thing's going to be when I swing this over, I need to put a stop on here so it doesn't, or maybe I can just on this, I can just let it sit on this. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll check it out tomorrow once it cools off a little bit. I welded all that stuff on there just now, so it's kind of hot right at the moment. So I'm gonna let it cool off overnight. Come out here tomorrow and try to finish putting the strapping in, fix those holes, and then start on the grates, the cooking surfaces and stuff like that. So, and I got to finish welding up the collector. I've been waiting to do that till I can get some more practice welding, get some more practice doing some stuff, because I want those to be pretty. But I don't know if I'm pretty welding just yet. So I'm still struggling. But hey, it is what it is. But all right, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go and take a shower. Like I say, it's 2:30 in the morning. Man's wanting to be out here with a good-looking woman in the bed in there. So that's where I ought to be. But here we are. But anyways, I'm getting off here. Gonna go to bed, take a shower, go to bed, try this in the morning bright and early, and hopefully we can get this thing finished up, get it at the restaurant. But now don't forget, if you want to see the first cook on this thing whenever I get it done, whether it's this week or next week, I'm gonna film that on the Thatcher Barbecue Company page. We'll load this, we'll burn it out good, get it burned out, get it, see what it's gonna do, maybe do a biscuit test on it, see how it's gonna cook. And then we got no choice but to load it up with brisket. I mean, we've got no choice. It's what this thing is built for. It's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to cook and cook and cook and cook. And that's what it's going to do. So, all right. See y'all in the morning. All right, guys. I'm going to end this video here. I didn't get the smoker done this weekend like I was hoping to. And I was going to just do this in 3 parts, but I'm going to have to make it in 4. But I'm down here at the restaurant cooking right now. I'm going to try to get it done next week. We got us some briskets going. This is on the smoker that I use every day, so I hope I can get that other big one back down here. So thank y'all for watching. Hope you have a good day, good week, good month, a good year, and a good life. And I'll see you on the next part 4. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell all your friends.